We should not be doing anything that is against UK national interest. Our national interest right now is being a bridge between the US and Europe, creating a strong NATO that can help defend against Russia. Right now, that seems to be in peril. And what we need to do is look at all of the options that we have in the short term, like I've described, but also in the long term. We need to start increasing capacity. It's not just about spend. What can we do to rearm now? We should be looking at the amount that we do want to spend in the longer term. We should be talking about 3% very, very quickly. How can we get to that? Maybe by 2032, maybe even by 2030. But those are the serious questions that we need to be asking.
So where does all this leave us now? If Volodymyr Zelenskyy had left the United States with perhaps some guarantees that the US would continue to support the war, then it would have been a lot easier today and tomorrow for Europe to try and figure a way through. Remember, France and Britain have already said that they would put boots on the ground in a peacekeeping capacity. But the caveat to that is that the United States falls in behind providing things like air support, surveillance support, satellite imagery. That at the moment is not on the table, and that is a real risk to British and French and others' commitments to the peace/war effort. And the key thing now is that European leaders will try to figure out how to get Donald Trump back on side. Keir Starmer, of course, is now at the fulcrum of this. He had a very, very positive meeting with Donald Trump in the Oval Office the day before yesterday. He will want to try and capitalise on that, whilst at the same time trying to show his support for Ukraine. It is in many ways an unenviable situation, one not without risk, one with potential rewards. He is now a kind of peacemaker character between Volodymyr Zelenskyy and Donald Trump. It's a critical role, but ultimately, that relationship between the UK and the US needs to come back together if Ukraine has any chance of being able to fend off the Russian assault. At the same time, Europe needs to start sending some very strong messages that it too is willing to pull its weight. But, you know, without a US security guarantee, it is very hard to see how that could happen.